There's a chill in the air. Fall season is upon us, but it is time for us to recap the month that was September 2001. What are we drinking today?
We're drinking Lotso Peach 21 by New Glarus. This is a brown ale with peaches.
So seasonal. You know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss one of our bi-weekly uploads. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's recap the month that was September 2021.
You got the Outsiders, Kevin Nash,
Scott Hall.
and if you get a chance, you need to be watching Gaming Off the Grid.
Don't miss it.
Ever.
September was quite possibly the busiest month we have had as a channel.
Yeah, it was full throttle the entire month.
I don't know how we kept our heads above water. We were going to conventions. You had to take a full weekend off. I mean, as we're filming this today, we're getting ready to go meet a couple pro wrestlers. We'll probably cover that on our social medias.
We streamed for 24
Yeah.
hours straight.
Lost a whole weekend because of that, because we were
Oh,
tired
man.
little kittens.
It was chaotic.
Yeah.
It was fun. But let's recap the month that was
Yeah.
September 2021. We always start this off shouting out a channel that I think is doing good things in the YouTube community.
Yeah.
And we've known this person for a while. They've been following the channel, and they decided to jump on the YouTube bandwagon. And that's Samantha Azira. She's making videos, and it's awesome.
Yeah, yep. You guys got to go check her out. She's off to a way better start than we were, which every time we talk about a new channel, I feel like I say that
Yep.
because it's true, because we were like,
You gotta start somewhere, though.
Yeah, and she is doing a great job, a wealth of video game knowledge, huge gaming fan and nerd like all of us that hang around. So I really think you would enjoy Sam's content. She's just doing a killer job and taking that leap. I think she said she used to do YouTube, kind of got out of it, and now she's
Now
back in.
She's got the bug.
And she's hitting it head on, and it's awesome to see. So congrats, Sam, and if you guys haven't, we'll put a link in the description below. Go check out her channel and hang out over there for a little bit.
Now let's move on to video of the month. This time, we have two. I think we start with wrestling.
Yeah.
first.
So I was really happy to see Mick Foley came out and put out a short video. He got all of it packed in under 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's a minute 15.
I think it was titled WWE, You've Got a Problem. And he was talking about if he was an up-and-coming superstar in today's landscape, WWE probably wouldn't be the place for him. And it was really weird because Mick Foley is one of the most slow to speak on a lot of things, very... he's a critical thinker, very intelligent person, and he's very diplomatic. And he's got tethers still tied to the WWE. I mean, I think that there's a lot of things he does or would want to do in the future with them. And so I think the weight of what he says is more than maybe some of those jilted or, wrestlers that are holding a grudge against the company.
Yeah.
There's no grudge there. I think that's just from the heart, he's seeing.
I mean, it was a very calm thing. I think he was just filming it in his hotel room, and he was like, man, AEW's coming up. They're freaking doing this. And WWE's... I mean, I've known this for a while. They've been slacking.
Yeah.
It's not good. But it's just kind of cool hearing it from a professional wrestler who came up in WWE.
Yeah,
you know?
the WWE product is almost unwatchable. It's a shell of its former self. There's just no soul to it anymore. It's a soulless product. They've stripped it of everything that it ever was. And it was nice to see one of the, legends, greatest wrestlers of all time come out and call it like it is and not be so diplomatic about it. Because I really think the company's in trouble. I would love to see him bounce back. I've been a fan since I was a little kid. But it's a train wreck. So thank you, Mick Foley, for your honesty. You'll never see this, but it was pretty badass and it needed to be said. Many people have been saying it for a long time.
And the other video has something to do with video games. And this video... It's like 20 minutes long, but I was hooked the entire time. It was so intriguing, so interesting. Our buddy Rexer sent this to us, and it's about World 4-2 in Super Mario Bros. And speedrunning and all the glitches and how people are trying to get faster. It was so fascinating. And
Yeah.
these speedrunners are trying to gain milliseconds,
Yep.
and they're doing it in 4-2, which is the shortest level in the game. And it was so cool to watch.
Well, it just shows you how much of a fine science that speed running game is, and it's fun to run through levels as fast as you can, but to get on that level, that stuff is crazy. The stuff they can do, it's like surgery.
And the way they're discovering new glitches and hacks and ways to do it faster, freaking 35 years
Yeah,
later is insane.
It is. The game came out in 85 and there's still uncovered secrets. I do think this video is maybe about a year old, but to us it was new.
Yeah,
so
and
we wanted to talk about it.
It was so cool. You guys got to check it out if
Yeah.
you're fans of Super Mario Bros. Or speedrunning.
Yeah.
It was just very fascinating. But now we got to move on to Video Game of the Month.
Yes.
And we have 2 of these as well.
Yeah, we were blessed. Maybe those of you who've been around for a while know that actually our first follower on Twitter ever was Konami, and they've been really, really good to us. They invited us out to the launch party for Contra Rogue Core, and they've just been a friend of the channel ever since. And they sent us download codes for the new Castlevania Advanced Collection,
Which is so freaking cool.
Yeah.
We're huge fans of Castlevania, and these are all the Game Boy Advanced versions that I've never played.
Yeah.
So it's just really cool that it's on console now. I can experience these games, and it's a badass bundle.
Yeah, and we pray. I don't know that we'll do a full video on it, but they did add some things as well. Like I noticed an Aria of Sorrow when I was playing it, which I really liked that game. That's really the only one of those advanced games that I'm like really well versed in. The other ones I've dabbled in, but that one's one of my favorite Castlevania games ever. And it was cool, like when you kill enemies, there's a little thing that pops up on the right, and if the circle is not filled in red, you don't have that spirit collected. And it's just kind of a cool way to where you're kind of wondering when you played on Game Boy Advance, like, do I have that one spirit? Do I not?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
It's a nice little addition.
It is. It does help you along the way, 'cause especially if you take a couple days off and you come back like, yeah, I don't know, did I get that? I got to go check my inventory. So that was a nice deal. And the value of something like that, I think the interaction and stuff of this menu system's a little sparse comparatively to the last Castlevania collection, but just the sheer value. Yes, it's a digital download, but the last one did get a physical release through limited run.
So they might do it for this one.
Eventually, but some of these games are astronomically expensive, and for someone like myself, it's not that I don't like games that are on handhelds, I don't love playing them on handhelds.
Yeah.
So that's why things like the Super Game Boy and the Game Boy player for the GameCube have always been a really big deal to me, because I never have liked this, except with the exception of the like bigger DSs. So being able to play it on my TV screen, which is how I prefer to play games, at a budget like $19.99, it's such a great value.
It's freaking badass. If you're a fan of Castlevania, I highly recommend it.
And the emulation's pretty damn good. I played Aria of Sorrow a ton a couple nights ago, and M2 did the emulation on it, and they've got a pretty good track record, so it turned out really good.
And then the other game we want to talk about, I'm shocked that this has not been Game of the Month, because if you've been following the channel for a while, we've been playing this on live stream occasionally. We've talked about this game ad nauseum, and that's Beach Spikers on the GameCube. What an underrated game. This game is stupid fun.
Super cheap as well. I shouldn't say super cheap. It's like in that $15 range. If you've got a buddy or a good friend, you got to play this co-op. It is so fun. The game doesn't have a ton of depth, but where it thrives is the gameplay. The camera takes a little bit, I would say.
It's the first time I played it, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It does like this motion.
Yeah, but once you get used to it,
yeah, then it's you
this
don't even
game's
think
just
about it.
so fun. When you do a perfect bump set and spike that sumbitch down, and if it hits somebody and knocks them on their ass, there's just so much fun to be had with this game. We can't stop playing it.
It's a cheesy Sega arcade game. The voiceovers, ready, and then it goes, thank you for playing.
Yeah, yeah. And that sounds more professional than the game does, for sure, because it's like, thank you for playing. It's so jacked up. It's awesome.
It's such a good game. If you have not played Beach Bikers, you know we love arcade sports, and it's up there. It's so good.
Absolutely. Comment of the month. It was really tough this month to distill that down. One, we haven't been as good at hitting our comments back, and I apologize, but we've been traveling. We've had all this stuff going on in the back end. But hopefully October mellows a little bit. We have a little bit of travel at the beginning of the month, and then I think things should settle. But the one thing that really stood out to both of us was the support during the 24-hour live stream.
Yes. That's all the comments, all the people that stayed up with us, for all of the people that were there for 5 minutes. Just people chatting in the comment section of the 24-hour live stream kept us going.
Yeah.
It kept us engaged, kept us hyped, and it was awesome. I know, I gotta say thank you for all the donations, but we'll talk about the 24-hour live stream later in this episode. But the comments, man, we got so many of them, and so many people were just getting along. We had a couple people pop in that were kind of boner dogs, but
Yeah.
Whatever, we're not going to talk about them.
Yeah, and the giveaways, just so you guys know, we haven't had time to mail those out, but that will be getting done hopefully tomorrow morning. We got about, 4 to 6 episodes to film today, and then we'll try shipping that stuff out. Well, get it packed tomorrow and get most of it sent out. But if you did get a giveaway, not everybody's reached out to us. We've been trying to track a few folks down and say, hey, what's your address? Make sure you hit us up via email, blah, 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 so we can get you that stuff sent out.
Now we got to move on to Beer of the Month, one of my favorite categories. I'm not surprised that Barntown is a winner again.
Yeah.
And this is weird because we're not typical fans of lagers, but the Uncrispy Boy lager from Barntown. Holy crap, it was such a good beer, such a good summer beer.
It was very good, very unique as well. I can't even compare it to any other beer that I've ever had. I just know it was really good, and I know it was your typical Barntown top-notch quality.
Crispy, creamy,
Sweet
lager.
Yeah.
Delicious. We love Barntown.
I wish we could have got more of it.
Yeah. Well, we did drink quite a few of them, and then the problem is they don't distribute, so you got to get to the tap room.
Yeah.
And it's on the other side of town, and
Yep.
excuses.
It is what it is. But it's time to let a little steam out of the pipes. It's time for Boner Dog of the Month. And this isn't directed at any specific person or channel. This is just directed at that little dark cloud that hovers around the retro video game community. And I'm just going to call this Mr. or Mrs. Drama Channel.
Oh, yikes.
You use evil tactics. You use mind manipulation. You use incorrect facts. And really the problem is that anytime you try doing something that does not drum up negativity, you fail at it. That's why you go towards drama. You're a coattail rider. You are like a virus that needs a host to live. You have to put a big YouTuber's name in your title to get views. And then you wonder why people don't come back, and it's like, well, because they only liked what you were talking about. They really don't like you.
Ooh.
That is your problem. And you're going to keep going down this bottomless pit of negativity, living your little miserable life, and be like, ooh, yeah, I talked about that, and I got some views. Woo, I'm good. The fact is you don't have any creativity.
Ooh.
And it frustrates you to no end that there are people that are more successful than you, and so what are you going to do? You're going to tear them down. You use a tactic very frequently called ad hominem, used by a lot of politicians that try destroying one's point of view or something to that nature by talking about things that are more character attacks. You try making like fun of them, talking about their weight, their age, their appearance, some sort of personal hack to get people to believe and somehow validate what your point is. Oh, this person is a creepy, slimy SOB. And then you say, but they're also fat and they're 40 and they wear skater shorts. I don't understand. I hope you find a better life. I hope you find a better way. I hope you find a little creativity. And I hope that those coattails you're riding on just freaking cut you loose. I just wish the whole community could rid themselves. And if you're someone that watches those channels, you got to look in the mirror too. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I just am sick of it. And all those people, really what needs to happen is they need to go out. Get out of their little caves. Go to a game convention, lift their chin up, expose their Adam's apple, and have somebody go, WAP! Say something now! That's what needs to happen. But anyway, that's the Boner Dog of the Month, Mr. and Mrs. Drama Channel.
God, they're so annoying, and they just keep popping up here and there.
Yeah.
People that are desperate for views keep falling down the...
Yeah.
It's a dangerous slope.
Yep.
Just, I don't get it. I don't have freaking time for it. How do people have time for it?
You know, it's very telling of people, I think, you know. You're going to meet people in your life, you guys probably have, right? And everything's always everybody else's fault. They get fired from a job, they get a divorce, and you can really tell a lot about someone's character, about how they talk about that organization or that person post-breakup. And I always love looking at those type of things. Like, look back at it. Don't be a prisoner of the moment. Evaluate said situation 3 years out. Typically, what you'll have with those type of people is a company thriving or an ex-spouse that is thriving, and this miserable fuck is still wallowing in their own sorrow. That's typically how it goes. That type of stuff just never wins in the long term. I also have always used a tactic, you know, when I interview people, if you come in, you bash your employer, and you're just negative, guess what? Not going to work here. Just doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for our company. Those type of things. So anyway, negative people that like drumming up negativity, you know, don't bring your evil over to someone else's front porch. If you're miserable, that's fine. Stop trying. You know, the human, what's that crab thing, right? But crabs never let crabs out of the bucket. They always pull people down.
Yeah, they pull them back in. Yeah.
That's you, Drama Channel people.
Crabs. But now we got to move on to what's on in the game room. I wish this was a football team. The Crabs? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because we're watching football. 'Tis the season for football. We're watching high school football, college football, and professional football. It's just... 'Tis the season, man. It's getting cold. Football's happening. It's just great having it on in the background.
Yeah, the background. It's awesome. You just kind of look up like, oh, that's the score of that game. Okay, back to working. But yeah, it's I love this time of year. It's just kind of that when the stars align. Weather's badass. Football's on TV. You know, you don't have to take a spatula out with you when you go outside because your nutsack isn't going to freaking get all slippery and be on your car seat. You know, all those type of things.
Spatula?
Yeah, you got to get off the side of your leg sometimes, right? Flip those eggs, buddy.
That's nasty, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
This time of year is awesome. But now we got to move on to the last category in our monthly recap, and that is monthly highlights. We have a shit ton of them, so we're going to try and go through them quickly, but also dive into them. So the first one, Mo GameCon 2021. Freaking, this is our third time going as a channel.
Yeah.
This is the first con we ever went to, and this year we were a vendor.
Yeah, that was kind of a unique twist on it. You know, we'd experienced it 2 other times being out on the floor just mingling, but this time we were kind of in a booth, sold quite a bit, did pretty well. Our good buddy Brian came with us. I think the highlight of the weekend, though, is that we had an Airbnb with a lot of our really close YouTube friends, RetroWolf88, Waves and Games, Peter Bateman.
Do You Nerd?
Yeah.
Captain Algebra.
Yep.
It was freaking...
Retro Mikey
stopped
Yeah.
by. Dan Brosman
Yeah.
stopped by. Getting an Airbnb with other YouTubers is like the way to go if
Yeah.
you're going to a convention, because you got all this time in between the con. You're hanging out. You're
Yeah.
all in the same room. You're playing video games. You're freaking... It's awesome.
And a new con tradition, hashtag White Castle Burgers.
Yes.
That's good.
Little story is we ordered 100 White Castle burgers because there was 9 of us. And we assumed most people could eat 10 sliders. Most people ate 4.
Yeah, we had a lot left, but it was awesome.
And I will say that leaving them out on the table overnight and eating them for breakfast the next day, still good.
Yeah.
I had 2 of them the next morning. And the grease, I was cold and solidified.
Yeah. Yeah.
The flavor was weird, but they were still good.
Yeah.
But that's a new tradition.
And you're still alive. So
Yeah.
that's proof that food contamination doesn't exist in
No,
White Castle
it
burgers.
does.
Yeah.
White Castle flawless.
Yeah.
It's so good. But then we got to move on to another monthly highlight, and we were on the Rexer show, which we've been on multiple times.
Yeah.
It's always fun chatting with him.
Yeah, he's a good
Show
dude.
Me Retro was on.
Yep.
That was really cool. We were actually, in the podcast, we talked about Mo GameCon.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, Rexer's good shit, and we're always blessed to get time to talk to him. Him and I text back and forth here and there, but we don't get to spend as much time together as we would like, and so that was a lot of fun. I love how he runs his show. I think it's just the format and everything.
It's kind of like a game show because there's different
Yeah.
categories, and
Yeah.
then you kind of just free ball it. It was a lot of fun.
He's a really good host. Like,
Yeah.
he's good at, like, he's just got control of his show. He keeps the pace moving. He does a really
He
good
lets
job.
it breathe sometimes when people are talking, but
Yeah.
he's like, we got to move on. We
Yep.
got to move on.
Yep.
But it's always fun being on that. And then we already kind of mentioned this, the 24-hour charity live stream. This is our 2nd year doing it.
Yeah.
Where we live stream for 24 hours straight, raising money for the Children's Cancer Connection. We're still waiting on the totals and everything, but I think we got over $8,000
Yeah.
donated, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, we won't be able to give them the check till probably mid-October because YouTube pays out like October 21-ish, and that capsizes the whole month of September, which
Yeah,
it
it's
fell
always
in
a month
September.
behind,
So, but we're excited. It should be north of 8,000 even after YouTube takes its cut and whatnot. But we'll post that stuff on the socials. But nonetheless, it's going to a great cause, and it was an awesome coming together for the community.
Doing it is always crazy because that afternoon, you're 20 hours in, you're playing Jackal and you're driving into the wall because you're falling asleep.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it drains you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, I think I was asleep by like 7:30
Oh.
after we ended and just slept for like 12 hours.
Yeah,
and
it
I
was
was still
brutal.
tired the next
And
day.
the next day, it's like that 24-hour, like, you're up that long. There's always that residual, like, just exhaustion hangover
Yeah.
that you have. So
But it was a lot of fun, and you guys kept us going, and it was for a good cause, and
Yeah.
we're going to do it next year because it's a tradition now.
wasn't it the next night? Didn't we go watch the AEW pay-per-view?
Yeah,
it was
we
up
did.
again till like 11
We were-
o'clock. Holy cat crap.
We don't know how to stop,
Yeah.
guys. We do not know how to stop. And then, finally, in the month of September, we ended Launch Title Madness, which, in case you guys haven't seen it or seen the finale, I'm not going to say who won, so go check it out. But we started this series back in March.
Yeah.
That's crazy, and it's just now ending in September. 17 episodes, so many matchups, so much fun,
Yeah.
so much tough decisions.
Yeah, and we've said before, the series as a whole, comparatively to some of the other stuff we do, doesn't perform the best, but I feel like the people that are into it are way into it. So that makes it fun, when there's people on the other end that are getting all saucy and wanting to rile things up, and the conversation's like, you're wrong. It's like, no, you are, yeah. And then go back and forth. That's what makes it fun. That's what makes video games so fun to talk about, I think, is there's really no right or wrong answer. A lot of it has to do with perspective, and I feel like the point in time where you became lucid as a gamer, Super Mario Brothers lands really well with us because it was our first video game we ever played, but I'm guessing that same love and things maybe lands for Halo or for
any game.
Yeah, if it was the first thing you remember playing, that's probably where your barometer starts, and all your opinions and formulations occur after that point in time. So that's what makes it so fun, to rile things up and talk.
Yeah, everyone has a different gaming journey, and everyone likes different types of games. Yeah. It's cool. We can all appreciate video games and get along. You know what else I appreciate is beer, especially when it's gifted to us by Captain Algebra.
Yeah.
He knows his beer. Let's talk about this beer. Lotso Peach 21 by New Glarus. This is a brown ale that's with peach, which I'm intrigued that it's a brown ale.
There's also some sort of other fruit going on in here. I think it said like a stone fruit or something like that. This is a brown ale, but it does, it differs greatly from like a, when I first read the bottle, I was thinking we were going to get like a Shiner Cheer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This is a little more of like a, I don't want to say fermented fruit, but a little more of a sour fruit coming through.
It's kind of got a pucker.
But it's definitely not like a Shiner Cheer. I think if you like Shiner Cheer, you might also like this, but I don't think that would be guaranteed. I think it's a good brew. Not my favorite, but I do like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'd probably say 6 or 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Middle of the road. New Glarus, they have a lot of really good beer.
Yep.
And Captain hooked us up with so much good stuff.
Yeah.
First off, I'm not a fan of brown ales just in general, so like that kind of already lowered my bar.
Yep.
But then the peach flavor is pretty good coming through, so I'm enjoying this. This is a nice, easy drinker.
Pretty decent. It's got a good feel for a fall beer as well. So kind of like migrating more to the darker stuff in the colder seasons. That kind of tends to be the way we do things, but not always. But anyways, guys, we thank you for all the support through the month of September. We did miss, a Sunday live stream after the 24-hour. We missed last week's Sunday live stream because
convention.
Yep, and then we're gonna miss another one because we're gonna be in Portland, and we don't want to miss stuff. But we stay committed to our episode schedule, and
that's the priority.
If something has to go, it has to be the live stream. So I guess I personally feel, maybe you do too, we're not quite as connected with the community right now because we aren't getting to talk to you every single week, but things should mellow in October, and we're looking forward to a lot of fun live streams. We're probably playing some Halloween related stuff.
Yes, the decorations are going to be up.
Yeah.
I love how the room looks when we put the cobwebs up and the skeletons and all that spooky stuff.
Yeah, should be a good time. We'll probably have those up here the first, second week of October and ride it out through the month, and try scaring some people when they watch us.
Ooh, I like scaring people.
Yeah. But we always appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. We'll see you next time, right here on Gaming Off the Grid. And let's recap the month that was September 2021.
One take
One and done, dude.
Wow.
One and done, yeah. September was probably one of the busiest months I think we have had as a channel. It was crazy. Not quite sure how we survived, but I'm glad we did.
Good call. Microphone all the way over there.
Yeah. Get your feet out of my butt, dudes.
You got the Outsiders, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. And if you get a chance, you need to be watching Gaming Off the Grid. Don't miss it. Ever. Because if you do miss it, it'll be written about this fucking small.